How do you reduce fees and risk on the Caribbean fast-track citizenship programs? Our company deals with a lot of sellers on the property options and getting citizenship in St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, Dominica, and St. Lucia. The best way to reduce your total overall fees on money that will not be invested is to go with the real estate option. And the reason I say this is when you go with the contribution option where you're not investing any of the money, none of it actually comes back to you. Now, the non-refundable fee amount is a lot more with the contribution option than the real estate option. Plus, there is no negotiation power in lowering the contribution option fees. In this video, I'm going to actually show you how you can lower your fees dramatically with the real estate option that you cannot do with the contribution option to get citizenship. And in some cases, you can actually eliminate the fees. Also, if you're making at least $150,000 US a year, and or you have a net worth of at least $1 million US, and you want to legally get your taxes to zero, how to get a second passport, as quick as 3 months, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen here, and you'll get new videos automatically as they come out. And also, don't forget to hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button. And number 2 is I'd like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below and I'll get back with you. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and ask for some help. Okay, now you need to remember, as I have said on other videos, is don't buy fractional shares of a property, whether it be a condo or a hotel, because as I've mentioned before, fractional shares of a condo or a hotel are very hard to resell. It's just as hard to sell fractional shares as it is to sell a time-sharing unit. I'm going to be going to use St. Kitts as an example because it has the highest number of visa-free and visa-free on-arrival countries and territories that you can travel to of the Caribbean fast-track options. Now, your fees and investment costs being the buyer of a citizenship property will consist of the property itself, background check fees, government fees, passport fees, guaranteed funds, which protects the title, service provider fees, escrow agent fees, and legal fees to transfer the title. You, the buyer, is expected to pay these fees and not the seller. Now, some of these fees, on rare occasions, the seller will pick up and pay. It depends on what the 2 parties agree on the actual contract that you sign. If you buy a full property and not fractional shares of a property, you'll have to invest at least $400,000 US into the property. I have a private seller now on one property that will pay for all of these fees mentioned previously, depending on your family size, but you would have to move on this quickly because this is extremely rare that you're going to find a seller that's actually going to pay for the government fees for the buyer. Now, say pay for all of them. It depends on the size of the family, but if your family is really huge, then there'd have to be some negotiation there. But if you look at the Citizenship Act of St. Kitts and Nevis, it does not state who has to pay the government fees for the buyer getting citizenship. In Section 5.4b of the Citizenship Act of St. Kitts basically states, and these are the actual words it states, it says that all prescribed government fees have to be paid before the grant of citizenship by investment, before any sort of investment can occur. Now, it does not state whether the buyer or the seller has to pay for this. It's always assumed the buyer is the one that pays for these fees since it's the buyer purchasing the citizenship and not the seller of the property. But you have this leeway with the property option that you don't have with the contribution option. Now, this is perfectly legal as long as the property sells for at least $400,000 US and both parties sign a contract agreeing to this. This property that I'm mentioning here is going to go fast because of this special deal being offered. It's real rare that you see a person that is a seller willing to pay for government fees. This is about $100,000 US savings for the buyer. You also need to go with a developer that builds quality construction that has been in St. Kitts for many years. If you don't do this, you could be sorry. This is a key thing that you need to look at. You also need a company that has a proven rental program in place that has a high occupancy rate. One company that we deal with has a long-term occupancy rate of around 95%. This is incredibly high. You want this especially with the coronavirus in place right now because we don't really know how long that's going to last. As I mentioned on another video, we have a developer that will handle your property and pay you a huge lump sum up front as soon as you close on the unit. that covers the rental amount that the developer will collect over the next 5 years from the renter. The rent amount that the developer collects from the renter could be more or less than what's paid to you up front. The reason this is so good for you is it takes all the risk out from you, because you've already been paid up front the rent money that was going to be paid out to the developer over the next 5 years. The developer takes the risk of the apartment being unrented when you have already been paid your money. This is especially good during the COVID-19 period. You also have all the maintenance fees waived for a 5-year period. Now, any rent that comes in, the developer gets that because obviously you're paid your money for the lease back up front. The great thing about this is not only do you get your rental money up front, but you don't have to hassle with renters. The development also has great security. If you're interested in learning more about this, just contact us at www.citizenshipquickly.com. Also, if you make at least $150,000 US dollars a year or you've got a net worth of at least $1 million US, and you're interested in legally getting your income taxes to zero or to get a second passport as quick as 3 months, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button to the right of your screen here, and you'll get new videos as they come out automatically. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell next to the subscribe button. And number 2 is I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below and I'll get back with you. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top bar where it says apply with us, fill out the questionnaire. Then there'll be a bar at the bottom that says send it to us. As soon as we get that, we'll get back with you. We deal with a lot of citizenship by investment, residency by investment countries all over the world. I think you'd be interested in learning about. And I'll look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.